Abusia, yeah, the good news, and I say breaking news to be bro. Yeah, sure, so be subscribe to my YouTube channel, like and share. Update, share. Mahama make appointment. Na yenye share nim say obi obema an appointment. Yeah, share ye looking forward. Kofi Boakye. Retire COP time Kofi Boakye. As I let you say. Yeah, share. Let no another screen so. Felix Ofosu-Kwakye spokesperson to His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, the competent man. Yes, or none and in such here. Now, or say to say Kofi Boakye appointed as what? Director of operations at the presidency to oversee operational effectiveness in the security matters. COP in the time Kofi Boakye. Abushia, be second kind in Amo, and that screen is on. Intino say, Unya being kaya. Na oswabo modern na onebi akan te ene da so I say presidency communication o hwe nipa chese ne nsasha asia Felix Okwakye Ofosu that is a spokesperson to the president. It was say President Mahama makes key national security appointment. 1. Former Chief of Staff Prosper Douglas Barney has been appointed National Security Advisor to the president. Mr. Barney, a former minister for interior, that is Mr. Barney, no, a former minister of interior during Salman Penny Mahama person, brings a wealth of experience and expertise. Use Mahama Appoint and say a year. They go so can kind of description. Yeah, quite. They told me DCOP Abdul Osman Razak will serve as a national security coordinator. On the serve as a national security, ensuring a cohesive strategy across all national security initiatives. The others were me and Sanini COP, not just Commissioner of Police. There's a Nathan Kofi Boakye retired, has been appointed appointed Director of Operations at the Presidency. Position where I come. Was it Director of Operations to oversee operational effectiveness? Not just obeying for. Congratulations, sir. Another screen so you could take Ivan Chem Newz sent. Go PM Onia TV, not just the JB and hostage media. Another screen is no means now okay kind this good news. Just say this Mahama band a solid team. We say a solid team. God bless you.
Were captured on video. The president could not cause an investigative body to be constituted. Even at the preliminary stage, you require establishing certain merit to be about the case. Now you know what to do. He didn't do a thing about it. So President Awaba, a few days after, what we need that particular commitment now a culture IGP, where I disagree. And then say Yama IGP, that particular investigation. For that one, I disagree. Because I'm not sure that the police are competent enough to take that particular charge. Because the video that we watched in Techima, most of the killings were done by the police. So if you ask you to go and investigate yourself, I don't know. The president might have his own thought, but me, I disagree with asking the IGP to lead that particular investigation. I think maybe a public inquiry or some kind of an investigative committee, including the police, to come together with information and as for me. But all that being said, no, I think there is a move in the right direction. I know the day, a resolve major concerns and we're going to the elections because Ghana no any banana republic. We can't go into an election. The president will come and say, but the election was peaceful, but for few regrettable deaths. Now, will you have that particular audacity to stand on TV and say few regrettable deaths? So I think that particular move is appropriate. And then the service passport, you see, I like the directness, the authority in the tone. I communicating as someone owning the oil. Because one major concern Akroma has to the abuse of this diplomatic privileges over the years. People who don't even work outside, they hold it. And the reason why I all call it has to do with this abuse. Because there are people within in the past administration, whichever way you see it, they will still need the service passport. And I say, we hear those diplomatic pass and then as a forum. But he's asking, say, everybody should surrender. Now, go through the processes to authenticate. As to what I said, they went through the process now and sana omo here sustain omo hold you omo there no, it will revert back to you. You understand? So it is not overall say obian famra ya ji obian free or there afro obian some. So that is the process, and I think say going forward, it will also set the stage say processes like this, and this a year abuse now you come now you who say it was abuse that I think that there should be punitive consequences. You better met it up to individuals are going forward, such occurrences, and so JB, now my culture say baby I've seen a lot of people jubilating, and as for me, I don't see jubilation. Or I see say this is the time for us to set the stage for the new Ghana now. You're looking forward, because over the years I heard the Ghana come the state of this particular economy, and let's all go to the energy sector and your culture says fuel na and as a gas na air run away a machine, a sun. We just have your friends 8 hours talk. Show how scary the situation is and how bad the previous managers, level this particular country in. So actually, you have a Herculean task ahead of us as Ghanaians, and going forward, we all need to come together as people and see how support on the government in Yanko Rogue. We are all part of it. We need to support the government to ensure, say, ideas Ghana deserve. No bet me I'm a position of mine. Ghana bet me take care of near my here Ghana for, because I will have Ghana for fast so I'm too about this particular year. And they need na ho can na wa man for muna. Me free say they want your friends say Ghana to be better. And they want to be part of that particular story. We want the political narrative in this country to change, and people want to be part of it. That is why I'm telling you, say, going forward, governance should be seen as a public enterprise. Everybody has a vested interest in it, whether the person voted for you or not, whether the person is in the NDC or not, whether the person is part of government or not. Everybody has a vested interest in this politics that we're doing. So don't go and sit there and say, me party abamena yama me to me so I can do the hell what I want. No, you can't, because adia atu akufuado ne state yokra esiwo ayatu Ghana for amanensi wono. So we aniji yebubu state onusu interviews are course. So you see the celebration within people. It shows that people were really angry, because at the time people were hungry. Yade embago atoto amanfo sika so. People who did investment, omodi omusika borrow government. Kwanya ya fast wa yadi yansa to sa sika no so, because kendo foreta bi kotena se or the or mine bebo nkwase abosi ama niema je niema nsam. And because of that, you saw the celebration and the jubilation. So it's a message to Obia say it's not going to be business as usual. I can't just say politics going forward in this country. No, it is not business as usual. And I'm very sure the president-elect is very aware. President Mahama is the reason why I all go about things the way that he's doing. And I think that as long as he goes about this way, we will achieve whatever that we want to achieve. Because in terms of efficiency, cutting down the size of government, and I'm sure that not just the size of government, there are several avenues. Nema be oha. As a year realign, na year reshuffle, nema be several year. You bet me put your home on the road. Ghana bet me I get into economic recovery, because as we speak, so Ghana economy says here be and JB. A car and the scary aspect of it is I am for 2026 we be chance here bet car ku for adrum pia kwa animu no. Na bisa won say sika na kofa na hefa. O tin sem na America no. And John Mahama 2012 no. Obo modern bof to ho na sika gugum bebre. Can we say the same thing today? Say there are funds that are available. The no cry na yasini in hand, sisi akamaja no hako. So a chance adwuma na eda yanim no eso. So what we know kwanya na oba ban numa, you should know say you are working for the people of Ghana. Ghanaians are watching you from afar, and you need to do the right thing, because Akufo-Addo na Ghana for one time. There was a time somebody called me and they say aban na more time. Aban say we name the worker. Why will anybody hate a government and a president? Because after all, as a president, your papa, you'll be happy to have him as your president. But Makasa is not always about being president. It is about being president with responsibility. You understand? When you Kenya na adia wode ye ya fa bobra papa. Na ya to aba man wan fa mobra papa no, you decide say me na me wo to me the buy there me pa. This is what will happen to you. So obi antan aban, but because of abrabobone a oje your mind na hantan ne sa kasa yan kan kire nipa no mo de ye. And the man Ghana for a go the standard they went, because 2016 Akufo-Addo was a darling boy for Ghanaians. Na Ghana for eso so. Don't forget to say na emma at Jessica. Okwaboso kan ya motom your first spare pass.
Yes.
So that Akufo-Addo and Ghana for a hold in high esteem, no. Suddenly, by the same near Massasan, yeah, I don't know, be penny mashe, a brabo near to me, not a boy. So it can happen to anybody at any point in time. And to win to me, I may say, whatever that has happened to Akufo-Addo, no, everybody should take a cue from it. Say, so, boy, brand, as a to Niema, now 1 to 2 ye. Now we break it all from the trust and Nipadia Mawa. No, the day no JB. And I think that the promises that has been made, we are heading there for it. The major one has to do with the constitutional re-engineering that we need to do, because I believe, sir, in your constitution, several portions of it outlive the essence and the usefulness relative to where we are today, and that there is the need for us to update this document, because the constitution is supposed to be a living document, reflecting the daily aspirations of the people. I know that if it is not align it with the modern needs and the demands of young people. Article 71 holders as Akroma, President Mahama made a promise to do some changes in as a forum. All these things are near as a government in open to, because I am not expecting to see any massive economic transformation within these 4 years. But what we can do is we can lay a solid foundation in terms of law, our constitution, in terms of institution, in terms of personnel, in terms of structure, and as a forum. When we lay this solid foundation, trust me, we can build Ghana from there. Because say, I'm building this foundation, I'm making sure that institutions become very robust, institutions become very effective. Now, individuals in power can easily wake up a day and say, I can just whip institutions in line, just like we saw under President Akufo-Addo when the Auditor General and other people were mishandled, and at the end of the day, booted out using state institutions like the Supreme Court and as a former. We will not get anywhere. So the most important thing is, JB, we need to sanitize state institutions and make them effective and make sure that we are able to engender trust. How many people even have trust in our court today? Because it's the same court to Yanedi Demluvo Adi. Or making sure akase only for no. Now we're passing age of retirement, and then so all these are saying deliberate machinations these people employ just to ensure that the government will get its way in as a forum. So going forward, these are near bottlenecks. Emma young Ghana for looking forward. Say the new government will take the bull by the horn and make sure that we sanitize all these state institutions that be a Ghana for being a trust home. There are people calling for the heads of Amam for Moya and so there are constitutional processes and as for constitutional frameworks were very wise, because they knew that time will come we may have individuals or worthy to occupy sensitive positions. That was why they created that particular window. So the constitutional window that has been created, can equally be activated to get whoever we want to get out. Because at the end of the day, the most important thing I am a government be a general as I see so and your soldier for the police for and how many people are by more. It is about the trust and the confidence public repose in that government, and you cannot afford to lose it, because the very moment a government loses the trust and the commitment of the people, that government is done. So at the end of the Akufo-Addo now still he was in control, because going into that particular elections, now it was Ghana against Akufo-Addo and Nabang, because people were fed up. And I'm sure if you're able to do some of these things, now you're straightening the path for Ghana for being trust and the confidence our democracy being, because now Ibrahim Traore a inauguration center. Now I was going through a lot of your friends reviews. Say what is happening when the gentleman took the stage. Look at the jubilation.
Yeah, sure.
But this is a military junta. But why would people in a democratic country celebrate somebody or a cool leader? Because people are gradually getting fed up with the way a man you go about your democracy. I have argued that to me, democracy is the best. Unless it's any other option to prove otherwise. But to me, democracy is the best. But because we are not practicing it well, because as a democracy, we have imposters fronting democratic rule. They are just running it like a Ponzi scheme.
Imposters?
Oh, yes. Because I adopted the convenient aspect of democracy and I implement it. But where institutions and you want to hold people accountable, that part in the attraction and for democracy so fast. And so this time round, we need to go full flare. Now implementing the full aspect of democracy. Sabaya Ghana ni benya GD say coup crowd will be a man home because coup na man for a pre home. I can't just a soldier for you who are more day. I won't be you come Babajio. Now, what you want to crowd and Yaman who is a soldier for Babaji. Soldier for now, we name that I know you kuno. And yet, and then most of them have no morals, they have no principle, they have no values. Those things now in the past, they trained soldier for any hobby. So just imagine these people coming to take over the country. You can imagine same extension of politics and they come military men there. But yet mean to talk near man asset. So we need to ensure say running your mind running to inspire trust, confidence. Every man for bit me follow democracy and I'm sure say Ghana will do well.
All right, Mami, now as the best about what we share the 10 ministerial nominees are Presidents John Dramani Mahama Diaba. But say the medical care no
Match names flow all over because very often take months take away, but the swiftness with which are all corner say how ready he is.
No, but even when we
cutting,
ministers no it's within 14 days.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I mean he's in line.
So I think he's ready, he's prepared.
Yes, sure.
And what tier course are Ghana for them because I can't just say 2 million Ghana for them man. That is why when you have a go on your knees and pray for the president because and like he rightly said, you cannot afford to fail.
Yeah.
What I say, and that is why you see some of these decisive decisions coming up. For instance, I saw a letter go through to Land Commission. Telling them say they should halt processing, sale, and everything. And in recent times, every single land a whole report should be submitted to the president within 14 days. These are some of the major concerns that Ghanaians were raising. Among 4S, so for him to issue that directive, actually say we're pinpointing out where the interest of Ghanaians are falling.
Not to cut you short, but Ayan Krofofo say a buying sasia ye fumono, a yen crying come to Kumasi,
yes,
go to Tamale, go to Ho. Go to just say it was all across the 16 regions. I say Oko
Kumasi Ashanti region. Our sister ye Jamana prono.
Yes.
And chair Honumi na
police commander tini dem ni akobo kokoko Mr. Kope edem be rent one ya ton assassin. Ani ye bubu. ACC apartments wo.
Na say recently I think
doctors yes. Ghana Medical Association, the regional president na omuko tu ni free.
Yes. So that is how our situation is here. So I think a very, very appropriate president all go through these particular lines just to ensure some of these processes, then investigations will follow. Then you can understand why people are resisting and fighting this oral setup. Yeah. The committee are president set it in place to ensure that they receive reports. Now, Fenyo Mark in Parliament. You see, let me say, politics, governance, leadership going forward, it's not business as usual. Yeah. You see, in the past, appointment committee, you can engage and dabble in those trivialities and get away. But at this point, Ghanaians are wide awake, maybe they don't even realize it. Afenyo Markin, I'm not sure he has even accepted MPP co-election, and they've been rejected overwhelmingly, and that they should be sitting somewhere. The posture, the attitude of the committee name questions are all more or less like he's just dragging the whole thing as if I don't know whether he want to make a show for him to be seen. He should know his place. Say time I had more. They showed arrogance and as for Ghana for have rejected them. He should just shut up and let the process flow. You understand? Because you see, I can't be watching TV and be exposed to some of the trivialities back and forth as if I'm growing a yedi. No, at this point, I say governance and your business as usual. Because minority leader no deserve to be minority leader. And say pass be the man not transfer parliament because it's a micro mini leader. Now we don't have the numbers.
Micro mini leader.
Now, can he call himself a minority bank?
Oh, they are the minority.
No. MPP is going to parliament as an observatory party. I'm telling you, so Afenyo Markins and the cameraman in our parliament, the difference here, they are observing the process. Yes, they are observing the process. No. They are observing the process because I know the majority will have their way in any way. You understand?
No,
So
the fact is, yes, though NDC now and the independent candidates now be kind of forms to test of the.
I understand. I understand. They are majority.
In every decision making, they may not need the input.
Exactly. So
they may. But then, because of constitutional issues,
I know.
And the beauty of democracy,
I'm not saying you will not be listened to. The Constitution enjoins them to make contributions, input, and whatever. Absolutely. But at the end of the day, I don't know the day what happens. That is the point I'm making. That makes you an observatory party.
Yeah, because of the number of ministers are available soon, there will be more members of parliament present at every point in time.
Exactly. So that makes you an observatory party. That is what I'm saying. You see, I am saying this for him to take a pail of remorse.
Can it be?
Me say, me can't same way. Some way on one kotenansia.
Abusinya yɛrɛ wase wa de brɛ no akanya me continue be news. Subscribe and share. I daily update TV so we give you the best. Say and then I will share ya. Na just say Mahama making key a year appointment in the security aspect. Na just already DCOP Nathan Kofi Boakye. Mahama my friend say ora bra na eba be a year the director of operations our presidency na effective a year records be at them say ono so say ban operations are or a very good operations because me kai share me young in Ashanti region highway. That just said there was a robbery going on everywhere. There is a DCOP Nathan Kofi Boakye be regional police commander no ebusunya sansem ni na one ya anti-beam a 2 year. And today is a very good appointment his excellency Ediaba. God bless you.